Hi guys, this is Allison from Alley Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, connect done an epiphany, a mind-blowing moment, a new book to read, a new author to explore. All that fun stuff is in the description under the video. We gotta scroll, kind of gotta use your eyes to see it, but it's there. And I thank you with the biggest gratitude in my heart for people who actually do support me in financial ways. But even just liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting is just as much appreciated, and I love all of you regardless. I just had my art show earlier today. I'm pretty spent, but I needed to do a video. Quite amazing. Sold some pieces, like a little shocked on that. And if you're interested in anything, please go visit alisonkatz211.com. And that way you're getting some cool stuff. So thank you to Judy, who gave me in a big amount of molds that I tested out. And I test drove this cute little butterfly. And then on the back, it's kind of cool too, a little bubbly. I'm still working out the kinks, but really cool. And what I might do is somehow figure out how to get this strung up on one of my extra hearts and have it as like a window piece or something to hang. Creative mind, always flowing. So if you're interested, I have the artwork upstairs. I took some of the pieces with me. Yeah. And I want to thank my boyfriend and his two amazing girls for helping me out today. They set the table up for me. They were unwinding things, like they helped carry stuff. It was beautiful. And I thank them so very much for the help, because it would have taken me a lot longer by myself. But I'm very thankful for them, and we had a blast. So yeah, I love what happened today, which brings me into the spiritual soul advice. I don't even know what to title this, because the last couple of TikToks I've been channeling. Go check out my TikTok channel, AlleyCat211. I don't know. There's a lot of alley cats, and there's a lot of AlleyCat211s. A little bizarre. I didn't realize that when I made my channel. But it's under me, my name, if you know my name. A lot of energy has been coming into us. A lot of us are sifting through this energy, and I've been listening. I haven't had much time to listen to my normal content that I listen to, but I've been getting snippets of things. So I want to go over that with everybody today. I've noticed, and this includes myself, a lot of us are feeling physical ascension symptoms, like things that I am not going to TMI with anybody, but wow. It's not just the ear buzzing. It's not just that. That's like one symptom, but I think a lot of us have progressed past the minor symptoms. That's a minor, in my opinion. Minor. What I feel is happening is a lot of us are now going through the bodily shifts, the organ shifts, which is throwing a lot of things off. I'm at that lady stage in my life where I'm hitting perimenopause. So I'm gaining a lot of weight I'm not used to, because 2 years ago and up until maybe last year, I was 97 to 100 pounds. I wasn't eating. And even before that, I only had one spike in my life that I actually got really heavy, and that was thyroid issues. Could it be a thyroid issue? Sure. I'm taking different supplements, seeing what is working, what's not. I'm taking frequency baths. I love those. I really, if you have a bathtub, and listen, if you don't have a bathtub, you could, excuse me, still do it in the shower. You're hitting frequency sound waves at water hitting you. It's up to you to imagine the healing energy that comes to you. So that's big major energy coming in that's hitting our bodies. That there's a lot of illness type stuff going on, especially stomach, reproductive, bone, muscle, and it's going to hit each and every one of us differently. Also, not to mention, these are a couple of people have described to me that they're hysterically crying out of nowhere. It's just tears, boom, done. And also memory loss. And it's hard to distinguish because depending on your age, and most of the people I talk to are about 20 years older than me, that's frightening, right? When you are just starting to cry out of nowhere and you're also forgetting things, like you think automatically brain goes to Alzheimer's, dementia. Like those are the two big ones that now, I'm not a medical professional. I don't give any recipes or any of that stuff. Like, please go seek out your doctor if need be. But those are other symptoms of upgrading your vehicle. These are symptoms of the ascension. I'm not a medical professional, but from what I've been gathering, if you are experiencing those things, give yourself compassion, rest, don't beat yourself up. There's reasons why you're not remembering. Because you're moving forward. You're not supposed to go that far back for whatever you needed to remember. You're also shifting dimensionally. So if you're going in a room and you think you have ADHD and you're scatterbrained and you're squirreling around and you forgot to do so, right? I was doing that today. I left a bunch of very important signs in the house. Don't know where I even put them. I made a whole bunch, seriously, like I physically laminated. I have a laminating machine behind there and made business cards. Don't know what I did with them. Thankfully, I made more, but my goodness, it's painstaking to cut each individual one out. But I wasn't beating myself up over it either. I said, okay, so if someone wants to pay me, I can't take credit card or debit card, but they can app me. I got the apps, almost all of them on my phone, and then I just spoke or written down what needed to be done to make a transaction happen. Guess what happened? I didn't have to sweat it out. Where did I put these things? I don't know. And sometimes spirit moves stuff on me. I'm not gonna lie, that happens. So give yourself compassion. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Don't fear it either. Just don't fear it. Just accept that we are all moving up, we're all shifting, we're changing, and we need to have self-care, we need to have self-compassion. I know I haven't really been feeling good. Tummy issues, reproductive issues, just overall like zombified at times. I get waves of energy that come in. And instead of beating myself up, I just rest, or I just don't tackle as many things as I need to tackle. I always have tomorrow. Always have tomorrow. So we gotta just take down things in little subsections and handle them each. But when it comes to self-care, make sure that you're taking the rest that you need. Make sure if you are not feeling the best, make sure you're drinking water. Speak into the water your intentions. Take baths if you can, or showers with frequency. Grounding mats, go out into nature. And I know with people that have busy lives, that have families and stuff, you have to put up a boundary and carve some time out. Doesn't need to be an all-day event for self-care. Self-care can happen in so many ways. Like the other day, I painted my nails. I don't paint my nails really ever, but I wanted to look presentable today. I'm wearing a dress. I really barely ever wear dresses, but I'm wearing a dress today. I made some changes. I wanted to be professional. And a lot of my stuff doesn't fit me anymore. So I had to look around to see what will fit me. I made it work. And I look cute and professional, and I have fun today. Which brings me on to happiness. I did a TikTok on this morning. Big theme in my, I've been getting channeled a lot. Upstairs made me remind myself, this human body, that happiness is a frequency that is not sustainable for a long period of time. It's just not. We get the glow and the happiness when we see an animal, and then like 20 minutes later, you're back to being a content human being. You're not in that elated state. We got to come back into the awareness that in order to easily shift, and this is the hard part, is how long can you hold that feeling of happiness? And in the TikTok video, I gave the example of Peter Pan. If you ever watch Hook, this is really where this comes from. In Hook, Robin Williams could not get up in the air. Even when Tinkerbell, the dust on him, he couldn't get up. And he couldn't hold his happy thought. He kept dropping out of the sky. This is a prime example of what we all need. That's what's happening with all of us right now. It's learning how to hold the frequency of happiness and excitement and joy. Holding it, not just having it wash over us for an instant, a moment, maybe 2 minutes. And then it washes away, and then you're back to being content. And that's just being in a middle line way. Like you're living your life, something makes you happy, yay, and, surprise. And then you're going back to your normal everyday interactions. How do we hold that frequency, that feeling, so that we can emote it more? We're not gonna hold it for an hour. We're not with, sparkle farts. We're not being tossed the dust yet to fly, right? We're not there yet as a society, and neither are as us as human beings. We're still slowly in the chrysalis, we're now transforming. And that transformation takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a freaking flash of light. And I'm sorry I pick on the people that believe in that paradigm, and that's probably the paradigm that will possibly play out for you. But for me, no. I'm transforming painfully like a butterfly. But all of us who are painfully going through this transition are going to be better for it afterwards. It's just the struggle right now is real. We have to give ourselves compassion. So the things that I've been trying to work on like today, I was elated a lot of today. Like I woke up with butterflies in my stomach in a good way. Like I'm anticipating like today's going to be the best day ever. And it rains, but you know what? I don't care because I made it work. And I had to pack my car up at 6 a.m. Like, yay. Like all these things that I would have dreaded doing and said, F this, I'm not going. I didn't do that. I was elated. I was happy. I was happy to pack my car. I was happy putting all this together. I take pride in my work. And when I set everything up and I took a bunch of pictures, I was really excited. And then because I have Amish mindset, I ran around to a bunch of tables. Unfortunately, I didn't get to everybody, but I put it on social media so that people could see it like, oh, why don't you come down to the event? And people were like, yeah, I'll take a picture. It was really nice. And I met amazing people. I opened myself up to bigger and better opportunities. And I'm only saying this to share this with you guys because I want you to do the same thing. You never know who you're going to meet unless you go out there and meet them. You never know who you're going to affect until you go outside and make that choice to seed. I seeded a lot today, and I'm a magnet for certain types of people that totally came over to me and were like, oh, yeah, really? Yeah. Oh, I already know about that 4 years ago. And this is how you make friends. This is how you make relationships, business relationships, or just connections with people. You never know what other people have to put on the table. And that Amish mindset doesn't need to come in the form. Abundance is not just financial. Bashar thankfully covers this too. I've been listening to a lot more of his stuff. I've listened to it in the past. I've listened to Cryon and Rod, the Law of One, Quo. But I've been listening to a lot of Dolores Cannon, the little clips, little shorts, and Bashar, and he kind of says the same thing. So are you going out there and giving yourself the highest excitement? We're here with a purpose. We're here to be the lighthouse. And I was totally seating the lighthouse. I wasn't there to judge anybody. There were people there that maybe 2, 3 years ago, I would have laughed at them. Like, why are you still wearing that thing on your face? Not this time. That's do you boo. If that's what you want, if that what's making you feel comfortable, great. A lot of people are very much into the opposite side of the spectrum that I'm all about, but they were opened enough and respectful enough to listen to, oh, what's that kind of pyramid? No one really even, like half of the people, I think one person knew the gems. Oh, why do you put copper there? EMF, electromagnetic field. Oh, what do the gems do? Well, they absorb energy or they give out energy, depends on what the type of stone is. And each of them have different properties. I'm like, it's science. Not everybody's spiritual. So I was able to kind of help seed people in a better understanding of my not only my artwork, but like things that maybe could enhance themselves. Everybody that listens to me has something to bring to the table. I only know this because I know a lot of you who watch me. I see the comments and I know a lot of people. The thing that I've noticed in interacting is You got to find what brings you your highest excitement. I know a lot of the ladies love to make and create and quilting and putting things together. And I love seeing the pictures. I love seeing the creations that people make. That brings me joy. That actually elates me. Today at the show, there was a bunch of people doing crafts with the kids, and in their own work, I went over to some of the tables and I'm like, well, if you did this, the paper gilding, where you cut up paper and then you make it into shapes and you put it on a, you can make a lot of different things from it. I told the lady, if you do this on the side, get some paper, glue it, and then morph the paper or morph the canvas. There was another woman who used yarn. That's one of my biggest mediums I used to use back in the day. I'm like, well, if you didn't stretch your canvas until later and then shifted and molded your canvas with your painting, you're getting multiple views. You're getting optical illusions happening within your work. That would look amazing. If you tried it, doesn't hurt to try. She's like, wow, that's a wonderful idea. My ideas are free and I give them freely. I want people to succeed. I gave a lot of really good advice to people today. There was a lot of younger people in the crowd selling stuff. And I'm like, well, you should look at this artist, or you should, oh, I'm a self artist. And I just, I didn't find my passion where I was studying in school. They're happy and they're supported by their community. Spoke to a lot of people like that. I'm like, oh, I'm the only schmuck with the bachelor's degree. But it gives me faith and renewed hope that more people are following their passions. More people are really excited to wake up and do what they do each and every day. And there are things, unfortunately, that we have to do that are not so pleasant and not so exciting. But it's finding the moments within what you do each day to find that excitement. What will make you happy in the moment? How can you uplift your thinking in the moment? Because we really are only in the here and the now. Live as if you're in the here and now. Don't, well, I had, this is my degree and this is what I do. This is my past and now it's leading me to my future. What excites you? What brings joy to you? This is the time to explore all these things. This is 20 years in the making. I graduated next year. This year's 19. Next year is going to be 20 years I'm out of college. That's scary. And I am finally finding a niche. I'm finding avenues of where I can actually get my work seen and sold. I make it for me, but if someone puts my artwork on their wall and it makes them happy, I'm elated. I'm excited. That makes me happy. So I want you guys to think about what I just spoke about, just giving my scenario, but I want you to insert yourself. How can you uplift that frequency each day? You're not going to be able, I can't even hold a Robin Williams Flying Fest in Never Neverland. I can't hold that frequency just yet. I'm not lying, but it's working at that level to get there. So make sure you are seeking whatever it is that you're good at. You're good at it for a reason. What is something that, and don't, upstairs. don't have fear in trying something new. I made a TikTok, didn't like it, didn't feel comfortable doing it. And now all of a sudden I'm doing it and I love it. Go figure. I never expected myself to vend, like put up like stuff on a table to sell. Never saw myself doing that. But I put myself out there and I enjoyed myself today. If you don't go out and try things, you don't know if you're going to like them. It's just like you tell a little baby when they're eating some food that looks a little funky, like broccoli. You don't know if you don't try it. So make sure that you're going out and trying different things. A lot of people were looking at my epoxy resin today and they were like, wow, that looks really difficult to do. I'm like, it's not that difficult and anybody can do it. You just have to have the mindset to put be patient and put the work in. It's not that hard. And I'm like, why don't you try it? Get a small, you don't need to get to the sizes that I buy. It's very, like, epoxy is very expensive. I said, get a little trial run and get some, the little molds in the store and try it. You might like it. Painting. So many people just do acrylic because it's so like easy and cheaper. I'm like, but do you understand the depth you can get with oil? You don't know unless you try. And I get it. Money is tight for everybody. I'm definitely in it to win it for the fact that I'm back to the Starving Artists Fund. I'm there again. But I'm not going to sit in fear. I'm not worrying about it. It is what it is. I'm putting myself out there. You don't need to put yourself out there, but I want you to go out and try something you haven't done before. And something that you're interested in, but just said, oh, well, I don't have time for it. For many people, it's crocheting. For some people, it's just trying something new. Whatever that is for you, I want you to think about implementing little things, or making a vision board if it's something big, like how do I get here? I think it's very important right now to find the excitement in what you're doing. If you don't find things that exciting, well, find why it's not exciting. We need to find that frequency within ourselves to start rising that happiness, the elation, the excitement again in life. We've been programmed very heavily to always think everything is negative or something wrong is going to happen or it's not going to work out. Right? And stuff doesn't work out, but where's the lesson there? You're being taught a lesson. If it didn't work out, that wasn't the right opportunity for you. But be proud of yourself for trying in the first place. Because if you didn't try at all, how would you know what works and what does not? Instead of beating yourself up, okay, the lesson is this is just not for me. Or, okay, maybe if I change and tweak this, it will work. But we're not giving ourselves the chance to do those things because society has dictated to us negative fear, negative. If I had a puppet, it would be attacking my face right now. Sorry, guys, my body is killing me. Just find your happiness, guys, in the little moments, not the overall. We're not flying to Never Land just yet. We're not there yet, but we need to work on that frequency. That's the biggest message that I got this morning, was to work on your frequency. work on the states of mastering your mind. That's really a lot of what upstairs has been my higher selves, whatever else works with me. That's what they've been giving me is finding in the moment where I need to twist my thinking around or look at things differently. Have my viewpoint vaster. It's kind of hard because it's pretty damn vast. But it's upstairs has been asking me, and I know it's being reflected back out into the collective because I'm seeing this being said by so many people. It's finding how to get that state come more often and stay longer. Nothing should be fleeting when you're excited and happy. It should be held and it should frequent and stay for a bit. And the longer we can keep that frequency, the higher we're going to raise. And I know a lot of us are raising pretty damn high because, oh, the purge, oh, the pain, and oh my goodness, the health issues. This is the time. Be kind to yourself, please. I should have been done with this book. I'm disappointed in myself for that because I love to read, but I haven't had time. But there was something in here that ding, 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 I need to read to all of you. Quote, within the now of the fifth dimension, the fifth dimensional here, it's bold. Your choice of perception is directed by your state of consciousness. Simultaneously, it is your state of consciousness that sets your choice of perception. Yes, you. You are choosing your state of consciousness. And your state of consciousness directs your choice of perceptions. You could not be aware of this fact while fully immersed in a third dimensional reality. End quote. There's a lot there. And it's basically what I was saying earlier with the happiness. We're not aware when we get that emotional state. Like we know it's coming on and we're happy, like, yay. But it's after that, yay. How do we keep that feeling for going for a little longer? That's your perception. When you collate that in your mind, you're aware of it, you're self-aware, you're becoming the awareness. And you practice this more and more. When something is brought to your attention, you tend to think about it a little harder and a little bit longer. So this is how we transmute and alchemize our thoughts. It's becoming aware in the awareness that I'm happy. So how do I stay in this happiness? How do I keep feeding that frequency? Because yes, we're in third dimensional reality and it's a roller coaster. And we are going to collapse down a little further sometimes. And it's the pendulum swinging, right? That's normal. That's the algorithm. That's the flow of third dimensional reality. We consciously are now perceiving and achieving at specific points that frequency. We're starting to have our experiences. As we are shifting in that chrysalis, our physical vehicles are going to crystalline. It's a metamorphosis. And it's capturing those moments when you are aware of them and you're like, you stop yourself in your tracks and go, I'm happy. What else makes me happy? And just keep feeding it for a bit. And you won't be so nutty looking like I'm nutty looking. Which is why laughter is one of those things we take for granted, but it is something that raises your vibratory state, very much so. Clapping is putting frequency out. So if you're clapping in joy and happiness, that's like rippling out around you in your field. So I know a lot of people can't stand but clap. It helps your vibratory state. You perceive your reality and yours is unique to you. So everybody's going to find happiness in the frequency of where they're at. Not everybody's happiness is the same. Not everybody achieves happiness in the same way. That's the crazy part about their dimension. We all give definitions to so many things that we need to rewrite what those definitions are. I know Linda Good McGillis, even Bashar talks about the definition that we've given definition to things in the wrong tense, in the wrong sense. There's wordplay as well. It's been askewed. A lot of things have been askewed and inverted. And we're the ones who have to rewrite those inversions. I read it in either in the message of Aquaria. It was talking about Baphomet. Now, for a long time, I had a definition of what a demon is. Until I started understanding divine neutrality and then watching and looking and observing both sides. Then, because of how I grew up with abilities and I saw these demons, and I didn't necessarily were afraid of them. I didn't fear, but they were testing me. And I've been affected in a negative way from them. But it wasn't until the aha epiphany moments when it's like, okay, but I'm creating them. And then they manifested into my world. Other people are manifesting them into the world. And then they are attracted to the lighthouses. So even if you're not the one that made them, they come to you because they like the light. It's really manifest. Like they're in fourth density, in the astral realm, and they can influence things here. And it's a real thing. And they are, some of them, negative. But are you feeding it the power and the energy that it needs to feed off of? It's not to say they don't exist. Everything exists. It's that you can't perceive it. And those people who deny those things can also get affected by it without knowing. They were saying in that chapter that the symbolism has been hijacked. I gave the example of the swastika, how that was hijacked. It was a peace symbol. In many cultures, not just a few, many cultures had that symbol. And it meant peace or something derived in that area of peace. And somebody, a bunch of people, I don't think it was one person, kind of hijacked it. And now it's like you can't use it, you can't draw it, you can't. But why? It was originally meant for peace. So because one or a group of people hijacked that and the inversion, there's like multiple inversions with inversions. I will not get into why, but many of you who watch WeNotMe knows and understands this. in depth how things were turned as a perception for evil when something really wasn't evil, but it was meant for something kind of evil, but not really. It's a tongue twister and a mind warp. But the same thing with the Baphomet. The symbolism, I'm not talking about the Baphomet, the demon. I'm talking about the symbolism. If you looked at the death card in the tarot, I don't have my Rider-Waite, because that's a really good example. But if you have tarot and you look at the Rider-Waite, that gives you a kind of an interesting depiction of the devil. And the symbolism that's there is Gnostic, esoteric. Not all esoteric and occulting things are evil. And they were inverted, and it's your will and intention if you're going to use something for the light or for the dark. It's your will intention. It's what you put into something that makes it evil or makes it good. So if you're determining right off the bat that something's evil because everybody tells you it's evil, because it's perceived as evil, because the book told you it's evil, then you're making it evil. But if you're looking at something objectively and saying, well, that symbolism was used in ancient cultures, and these people had immense power, understanding of the universe, way more than we do now, they must be on something that we don't know about. Why don't we know about it? Oh, because what they used was actually working for the good. Do you ever think of that? We need to stop feeding the fear and looking at symbology. Yeah, symbology will be others' downfall. Because as we're seeing the numbers, we're seeing the symbols, we're looking at, well, the Masonic stuff is so bad. They're evil. Yeah, and I agree. They do some heinous shit. Okay. But the basis of what they are showing you is truths inverted. How do you uninvert things? That is where us alchemized beautiful souls come in, because we're going to transmute all that crap into the light. That's our jobs, many of us. We just have to do it non-judgmentally. And for many people, that's been very difficult. And that's okay. It's not easy to stop judging others. I try to extend that in my everyday world, because there's some things that are inexcusable for me, non-negotiables, but I don't sit there anymore in judgment. I sit with compassion and I feel sorry for people. And I can only pray for them and hope that they see the way eventually, or they make amends with whatever it is that they struggle with. It's being the warrior in the garden. Someone flipped tables over for a big meeting. But I bet you he flipped tables and didn't deny anybody if they asked for healing or asked for advice or a teaching. Many people, I see it on TikTok all the time. People send me, like, Jesus is something outside of yourself. Well, I call Jesus Yeshua. Yeshua's not outside of me. Joshua is inside of me. And a lot of us are in his bloodline. I see a lot of those reoccurring memes happening out in the ether. All these special people are a part of Jesus's bloodline. Well, many of us are too. Why are we still putting people on pillars and podiums? We're here to save ourselves. We got to do the work on ourselves in order to be saved. If you're not raising your frequency and rising and elevating your consciousness, that's what Jesus did. Yeshua did. Please go back and watch my Pista Sophia or get the book. I highly recommend reading the book for yourself because it's profound. It's a Gnostic text, but it's one that holds so many keys in understanding how to be compassionate. And how many times you let somebody repeat the same mistake. Do you know how many times we've all made the same mistake and had to come back and relearn it in different ways and reincarnate and reincarnate and reincarnate? And then you know what? This consciousness is passing it on to the other aspect of itself because it can't handle it in this body. So another aspect of you is playing out the karma or the mistake over and over and over again until finally, aha, the light shines and you get it and you move on. Why do you think many people have the most difficult situations happening to them? Like Dolores Cannon says, we crammed it all into one life because we all like, A, we can handle it. B, we ain't coming back here no more to this frequency and dimensional space. We're graduating. But we got to clear this stuff because if we don't clear it here, it's going to be harder to clear it in higher densities. So as much as we say this is ridiculously hard, and yes, it is, and very painful and a lot of suffering involved, this is where we have the most soul advancement and growth. Believe it or not, is in third density. When you have to go and take some third density ideals and learnings and teachings and move it up a notch and keep moving it up a notch, it's going to get way more difficult because there's less free will. You're working in unison with others. You're in unity consciousness. As you grow and get higher and higher and higher and higher, the rules of the matrices change. The dynamics of the way we do energy transfers and everything changes. So if you're not going through the difficult stuff here in the now, it's going to be way harder and a lot more difficult for your soul to grow if you have to do the third density stuff up there. It's just not easy. It's actually way harder. It's again, here we go, perception. It's how you're perceiving it. We chose this time to learn how to alchemize and to catch ourselves and be in the moment. Take that breath and think about, okay, wait, I just made that statement, or I'm thinking this, like, how can I keep this going? Or how can I stop it if it's negative? Because sometimes it's repressed, it's suppressed, it's unconscious, it just out of you. So it's finding and catching yourself in that moment, even if it passed. It's being in the awareness that, oops, I didn't mean to say that. Let me reword that, or whatever it is that you need to do. But you're catching your moments. You're catching your thinking. And when you can catch your thinking and swap it, it's game changing. I know I say this a lot in my videos, but when I was growing up, I was a teenager, I was a BITCH. I didn't know that I was. I didn't know I was projecting so horribly to people. I wasn't consciously aware of it until somebody pointed it out to me and said, hey, Allison, what you just said was so beyond foul, and I know that's not how you meant it. It just came out so wrong, and I know that that's not you. So I'm going to stop you. Let's think about how it's said. And that person said it back to me the way I projected it. And I'm like, oh, Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. You know, if you have somebody really nice enough to do that for you, there you go. And I mean, I do this with the Viking and the Vikings girls. I kind of try to stop them in their tracks and I say, okay, think about why you feel that way. Now stop and change your reaction to it. We're still working on it. But I think it's something that if you have another person to stop you in your tracks and to just put you in perspective, and hold you there and hold you accountable, they'll shift for sure. Sorry, as I pause, I got pulled to pull cards. Let your light shine. Upside down. And now it's on the floor. Goodness sakes, Allison. Sorry, guys. Joy. What was I just talking about? Happiness. What is joy? We're going to find out. I'm going to read it, but I want to let your light shine. Be authentic. Today, embrace your uniqueness. Say to yourself, I am so pleased and honored to be me. Embrace the parts of you that may feel a little strange. They feel this way because you resist experiencing the fullness of you. We can all feel a little odd or peculiar at times, longing to be like everyone else and just fit in. But compromise breeds resentment, locking yourself into the pretense of what others want will strangle your soul and split you in two. Accept yourself, set yourself free from judgment and what you perceive others think about you. We no longer need others to lean on, to fill our perceived voids, or to be different to who they are. Instead, we want to be with others for the pure joy of it. Create new ways towards anything that is of interest to you. Can you feel relief wash over you? You are beautiful. I say this to the girls all the time, especially children. And I think a lot of us that have children around us, this is something that I'm trying to stress enough. And I hope when I start work, this is something I can impart on children. Be yourself. Stop allowing culture, society, friends, family dictate to you who you are. I know why I chose my parents that adopted me. I chose them. Wasn't happy with the family situation, like the outside family, but that doesn't matter necessarily. Why I chose my parents, as much as they fought me on it, they did. They let me be me. And here they are, they're coming down. They let me be me. They let me dress the way I wanted to express myself. Within reason, not skanky or anything. They let me do my makeup. They gave me, their comments on it, but they still let me be me. They never forced me into anything I didn't want to do. They asked me to try. And if after the fact it wasn't for me, great. I wasn't forced into anything. This is why I wasn't raised in religion. Most important. They let me explore different books. They let me explore content that sat so uncomfortable with them. I know it did. My music, the things I did, sat so uncomfortable with them. But they let me do it. And that's why I chose them as my parents. They gave me the freedom to express myself the way I needed to, not what they wanted me to. If my parents had their way with me, I wouldn't be here talking to anybody right now. I would have been forced to go into a career. I would have been forced to go to college for something other than art. I would have been forced to do something that it wasn't me. My parents let me be me. They gave me the situation that I had to go to college and get a degree. So you know what? I got an art degree. It's just a piece of freaking paper. It doesn't mean shit. But it was the experience that I needed in school to learn, to evolve my brain, to critically think for myself in a bigger capacity. Be exposed to literature I probably wouldn't have never been exposed to if I didn't go to that school. Everything has a purpose and serves a purpose. You choose your family for a reason. Mine, one of the many reasons why I chose my parents to adopt me is because they let me do me unapologetically. And to this day, I walk in my authentic self. I'm not afraid of what society has to dictate back to me. I could care less what people have to say about me. Oh my God, I got complimented so much on my hair today. Just the color, like, how, it's rude to ask a woman, but how old are you? I'm like, oh, I've been gray since I was 17. I let it grow in at 28 and I'm 41. You're so young. Oh my goodness. Rock it. You got it, rock it. You're happy with it, rock it. Be your authentic self. Unapologetic. In saying that, upstairs is like, I've matured my look, myself. A lot of people have a lot of comments to say about my eye makeup. I change it up. I'm happy. That's something that makes me happy. I like doing my makeup. A lot of the aspects of me is more on a tomboy basis. I don't do my nails. I get dirty. I like power tools. I like chopping things. But I could still look feminine. I like doing me. And I have refined myself. And that is okay. You're going to mature. Having a sense of identity within the soul so that it can come out of you. And that gives comfort. And that gives other people the green light to be them. The societal problem is we hold definitions to what people look like and apply a stereotype to it. And we need to stop doing that. I came down to teach people. This is one of my biggest missions on this planet. Source and I have a very interesting contract. I'm a lesson for many people because I present myself outwardly in one way, but I'm a whole nother person. People perceive me as being evil. People perceive me as being the other side because I had purple hair or I have piercings. My ear hole is rather large. I have tattoos. You can't see them, but they're there. I do the gothic thing. Does that stereotype label me as something that I completely am not? I'm walking in my authentic self. And so is everybody else who is very expressive, a little kooky and unique and weird. Stop labeling and judging others by the book of their cover, because guess what? The contents inside, you might get a whole different book. That's a program we all need to be deprogrammed. I know I did it a very long time ago. We need to stop. Joy. Discover what you love. If a thought does not give you joy, this is the best sentence ever. If a thought does not give you joy, then search for one that does. Thank that thought for showing you where you don't feel joyful. And then reach for a pleasing thought. You can empower yourself by choosing joyful thoughts. You will disempower yourself by choosing sad thoughts. What will you choose today? There's almost always something to make you feel at ease in every situation. It is up to you to find that. Try reaching for joyous thought right now. Look around your house at what gives you joy. Turn toward the joy in your life. If you can't find it outside, go within and create inner joy. Open your heart to allow blissful inspiration to direct your actions, and you will give without exceptions. Joy is your natural state of being. Now it is the time to honor it. I guess it's a good thing I started with the happiness thing. I don't make this stuff up, guys. These decks, right? There's a lot of cards here. I'm not sitting there and fiddling around looking for the right cards. I put their face down. I put my hand over them, and it's usually this hand with my mom's ring as my finger to pick the cards from. I've asked in my mind upstairs, hi, myself, hi, mom, hi, dad. What does the collective need to know right now? What information do they need to know? There's no way I'm going to sit there and pluck cards out. Just putting that out there. Not because I don't love you guys, because I do. But I'm showing you. Okay, upstairs. You know how children look up to their parents as good role models, and that parent models behavior? We are doing that on a bigger scale. Our lighthouses, people looking toward us, we need to be good role models with good behavior and modeling it, showing how it gets done. It's a big task. And there are going to be moments where you falter a little bit. But going out and doing your best and walking your authentic self and seeking the joy and finding what makes you excited and what is elevating you each and every day, the more you show that, the more people are going to start following suit and wanting what you have. And what you have, other people are going to start modeling that behavior in order for them to achieve it. The time is right. Seize the day and make progress on your soul path. A new strategy is required. Find the path to love and happiness. So what this is saying is, like, I made a change. Instead of saying, well, that vending stuff isn't for me. Instead of denying that opportunity to myself, I said, okay, let me try it. I might like it. I don't know, but I've been to these things before. It doesn't seem like, but I stopped talking negatively about it. And they said, well, if I don't put my foot in the door and if I don't go out and do it, how do I know I don't like it? TikTok. I don't want to put myself out there like that. I do it already on YouTube, and I have other platforms that I try to get out there and share my wisdom. Okay, but Allison, not everybody's stopping to watch your video for hours. So how can you condense that into under 5 minutes to get a message out? TikTok. It forced me to change and to snapshot things that I say to get to a point. So that's kind of like the changes that I've been implementing, is putting myself out there instead of hesitating and saying, no, 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 no. If I don't try something, I don't know how it's going to be. That change might look different to you in your universe, but try a new strategy, try something else, something different. Like if I was only an oil painter and someone put a watercolor paint palette in front of me, I would have to go and learn how to actually manipulate the paint with the water. But I might like it. I won't know until I try. Flames of desire, let them shine out in radiant light and shun dark paths. What do you desire? And nothing naughty. Some of these. The love of your dragon reaches out to you. The realm of your truth is opening up. I love my dragon guides. I do. I love them. I have a lot of dragons. I love them. Many dragons. Not most people have dragon guides, by the way. I love dragons. Because we're told to perceive them as evil. They're the snakes. They're evil. They're serpents. Why do you feel that way? Who told you that? And why do you feel it here? Do you know it to be true for your heart? Do you see the programming? I'm going to point it out. Do you see the programming? I pointed out in your rancher the other day. I did. Like, that was like a fantastic point out. There's an agenda at foot. There's a little truth and there's a little twist. And it's up to us to find where those twists are. And it's getting harder and harder in this society and at this time to know what is a program, what is an agenda, and how do we it literally. Why do you believe serpents are evil? Because the Bible told you so? Remember, there are way many more civilizations and peoples way before the Bible was even written. So, what was their interpretation of the serpent? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get told wisdom. Shedding the skin in order to grow new. Still being itself, but growing, evolving. You define the negative things. You define what is negative but that's from the outside world dictating to you what's evil. Instinctually, it took us all millennia as cavemen and as the first, the early third density souls came in and drowned. Oh, next life you come in, you're not going in that water. You don't know why, but you know something bad's going to happen. Instinct. You're not going to touch the stove because you know if you put your hand toward it, you might burn your hand. A survival instinct. Not all snakes are venomous. They serve a really big purpose. Same thing with any animal. There's a good aspect and a bad aspect. We live in polarity. So when you take the polarity out of the equation and you come to neutrality to see the functions on both sides, not just one, and stop fearing that other side, what you get is a crystal clear eagle eye view of the landscape below playing out. Then you stop tending to judge and that's evil. It's true. And like I said, the other side of the coin, the negative polarity, yeah, I don't condone anything that they do, and I think it's heinous, horrible stuff, but it's still source playing out a role for experience. So I am not sitting there in hatred and shaming, blaming anymore. I'm not doing it. And I might joke around about it, but I don't mean it. And there's a purpose to that. That's my other self, having an experience, because we're all one. Sorry, guys, I don't have the overhead camera that every other tarot card user does. Connection. The frequency of connection supports our ability to find alignment and resonance with others, things, and ideas. You know how I'm pulled to gems? Love gems. So I now make artwork with gems inside. I'm pulled to that. What are you pulled to? What connections are you making? They're not going to be mine. What are you pulled to? Divine masculine. The frequency of the divine masculine supports our active, focused, and strong side, facilitating our capacity to transform our dreams into form. Your thoughts become things. Sometimes those things take a long time to manifest. Other times they don't. And then there's also divine timing and divine order. That's the junky part about being in third density. Not everything that you want to manifest is going to manifest, because if it's not of your highest and good, it's not going to come. And if it does, it comes in different forms. That's just a perception I get. Again, hi, you don't need to align or believe anything I say. Please take everything and go within to your heart space. If it does not align with you, that's okay. You're not from my ray of God. You're not from the same paradigm as me. But it's that give your expanded mind an open point of view. So today, there's a lot of people that were blown away by some of the things I said. And when they gave their point of view, I still honored that fact that that's where their awareness is. And that they've been programmed and they don't even realize it. But I give them the compassion and the grace and the love, because they're just doing them at the frequency that they're at. I would hold this up, but this is a huge stack and I don't want it. Jeez. All right, they gave me two. I usually pick one from this stack. The wall. Obstacles. That's not the one I had the woo frequency from. I mean, I got vibrations off this card. Don't get me wrong, but that. Yeah, no wonder. The wall. Obstacles. Being inconvenienced by life. Detours, non-action. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you're on track, with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictably occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change your attitude now. This temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. Life on life's terms will override your best laid plans. As if something jumped into my mind and picked this card out and it spoke just everything I just was speaking before. Yes, and inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you are a human being, not a human doing. Perhaps you being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of a bigger universe where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly meant to be for you. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set into motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for its manifestation to be for the highest good of all? Patience is required, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you. Perfect card to come after, right? Deep quiet, meditation and stillness. Sorry, guys, if I put it closer, the camera starts juggling. When deep quiet appears, it is a message from the cosmos calling you to stillness, to step outside the concerns of your everyday life. This does not mean to slow down and take a breath, although this is a good start. The cosmos is inviting you to go deep, to the place where the noise stops. There is only the vast emptiness of inner space. When you don't respond to the invitation offered by deep quiet, life can stop us in our tracks with an illness or a crisis. I've seen this so many times. Listen to the still small voice. Remember that you want to catch spirit on a whisper, not a shout. And it is only human to argue that you are too busy to slow down, that you don't have the time, the inclination, or the money for a retreat. Do not let any of these reasons get in the better of you. Stop the world and enter the deep quiet before you come to a crashing halt. After you have said yes to this invitation, you will find that the world can get along quite well without the need for you to manage it. You will enjoy the freedom that comes with stillness, the clarity and spaciousness offered by the silence. Yes. I hear this all the time when I have calls with people. But XYZ. But XYZ. And on this channel, if you go back to older spiritual soul advices, if you're just finding me, I talk about little tiny implements of things you could do each day, like pulling affirmation cards. Just one. That I'm going to have the best day ever. Putting stickers or things on your mirror that say that you are amazing and you're beautiful or handsome. You're going to conquer this day. I've read it multiple times. I have oracle cards all over my refrigerator, and every time I pass a refrigerator and one pops out at me, I read it and it reminds me. Small little things each day. Not everybody could sit and find the quiet. Monkey mind. We got to learn how to tune that to a different channel. Take all the problems, put it in a box in the room outside away from you, and that you're going to focus on you. And that could take 5 minutes. Take 2 minutes. What's the excuse? Oh, but Allison, I'm not that interested. That's okay too. But for self-care, going outside with a cup of coffee and just focusing on your breath and watching the birds, that's a good start too. See, I know some of you. Expression. Express how you feel clearly, lovingly, and honestly without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. Somebody needed to hear this today. And I see this a lot. There are ways of being expressive and being clear without hurting someone's feelings. There's ways of going about it without being fake or white lying or running around the bush. It's how you project your words that matter. And from yesterday, I read about animals. Go check that. The personal survival had odds. I thought that would be in the book of the Realm of the Living Dead book, but it wasn't. It was in this one about the animals. But this is oneness. This applies to humans too. Someone you dearly miss is forever present in your heart. Remember, dearest one, that even though there has been a physical parting, spiritually, those we love never leave us. Creation is eternal. Nothing is ever truly missing, for all is interconnected and ultimately one. Before I pull the last card for the overall, people say it all the time, we're one. Where we go one, we go all. But you're still sectioning off people in that oneness because you believe they are not worthy of being a part of the one. Here's how I'm going to be expressive. Both poles, the astral forms, the devil, the Anunnaki, the grace, are all one of us, and we are one of them. Remember, your soul is in a suit, and it's here. This is a jacket we put on, we play a role, and then we leave. And sometimes some people's roles are to be the evil asshole. That's just plain and simple. They're still a part of the one. Expression, the vibration. God said, let there be light. God said, everything and spoke everything into vibratory states and frequency. We are all one. We're individuated, but we're still all one. And that is also including those things that you hate so damn much and point and shame and judge and blame. Yeah, I don't like what people do. I don't like the things that I hear. I don't like the things and the pictures that I see. I get sent things all the time. I kind of ignore it now. No offense to anybody. And yes, you can send me whatever you would like. There's nothing I haven't seen or experienced that will even faze me anymore. Horrible. Should it happen? Absolutely not. Does it serve a purpose in God's realm? Absolutely. Once you accept that as fact, then you go deeper and keep asking the questions. But why? You're like a 2-year-old, but why? You have the answers within you. They're inside there. I know that. You're capable of answering your own questions. People ask me a lot of questions all the time. I know you know them, but you're just overthinking. or just wanting everybody else to do the work for you. It's okay. I'm not that mean. But to give it to you bluntly, that's the hardest thing a lot of people still have a lot of trouble with, and why a lot of this is going to be a slow chrysalis transformation metamorphosis. It's because you can't understand God's design, even though you preach God. I know a lot of people preach God all the time. Which God are you preaching? Because let me tell you, it's all source. The all spoke into vibratory states of frequency. That means all of us. That means the whole smackdown. And if it's running in this world, it serves a purpose and has a purpose. Learning, teaching. Remember that. I actually had this Hertz pure tone the other night in my shower. Yogini of 285 Hertz. Changes in your life, including closing doors or missed opportunities, are not going to derail your fulfillment. Realignments are happening based on divine wisdom and timing, divine order. You are being diverted from unnecessary obstacles and suffering. Trust in how your life path is unfolding. Stay true to your authentic healing journey because it is working, whether you realize that or not. Significant inner healing is taking place. When the yogini of 285 Hertz makes her presence felt in a reading, it is a sign that we are on a powerful healing journey to connect body, mind, and soul with the truth of our spiritual nature. We are working at an inner level to let go of past pains and open up to our empowerment and grace, dignity, and legitimacy in the present moment. This oracle indicates there is a spiritual approach to heal any and all struggles in our lives. And a lot of us are going through that right now with purging and physical changes and dealing with them. The tone 285 Hertz supports the treatment of wounds, cuts, burns, and any other damaged tissues. That's why I play that frequency very often in the tub. It is a tone of optimal health. Just like the yogini who has access to the original vitality of our spirit and seeks to infuse that well-being into the body, mind, and soul, this tone is healing. As the frequency of the cosmic blueprint, it helps heal our physical body and aligns us on our soul's journey, synchronizing our inner and outer lives. If you felt conflicted between your inner aspirations and your outer reality, the oracle indicates the time for healing change has come. Excuse me. If you feel disoriented or conflicted about a choice, trust this chaos is a consequence of a cosmic realignment with your life path. Move through it with trust in your heart, patience, and willingness to keep the faith, knowing you will eventually find your way. The adjustments taking place within you will affect your outer world. Just like the tumultuous alchemical journey of the caterpillar, fucking shit, transforming into a butterfly, your inner transformation shall shape you and your world into the beautiful, inspired, and authentic form it is meant to be. That's like a mic drop on many, many, many levels. Become the butterfly. So yeah, for those of you who are new, I take a Bluetooth speaker and I find Hertz pure tone, which could upset people and give headaches to some. Not all frequencies people's ears can tolerate, but I play it very high and I let it reverberate in my bathroom. So it echoes and it catches the water and I feel it in the tub. I feel the vibration. And then I'm listening to it. And then I'm putting my hands and my body in the water to cleanse. And I'm envisioning the light and the cells absorbing the light and the healing frequency and undoing the damage. And it's been working. And this purge is going to take a while, so buckle up. Takes a while for a butterfly to caterpillar to transform into a butterfly and then open that chrysalis and fly free. It's up to you, and it's only up to you to determine when that's going to happen. And for many of us, we already wrote in our ascension and when that's going to happen and what it's going to look like. And each of us, it's going to be different. But it's a process and it's going to be a slow rollout. So be kind to yourself, self-care, find the happiness and joy. This is like the theme that was presented to me today. So I'm running with it because I'm in a very uplifting, happy, joyous mood today. Genuinely was not expecting much, and I just got handed the world. And as small as that seems, I didn't make that much money today, but I got to sell some stuff and make people happy. I got to actually feed people some ideas that will better them. I like helping other people, and I got to meet really exciting people today. So make the changes in your life, guys. Put yourself out there in whatever way you feel comfortable and what you instinctively are being driven to do. Don't fret. It takes time to have that acceptance. And some people are shy and some people do things their own way, and that's great. Twist it up a little bit, make some changes, try new things. Do stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable, but you know that if you do it and you like it, oh, well, are you now comfortable with it? I know going on TikTok was one of those moments for me. Pushed myself to go out to the library and put my stuff up on display. Didn't think I was ever going to do that. And here I am. And I really literally enjoyed myself. So I want all of you to take my examples and apply it to your life. And these cards are spot on with the energy. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy for anybody who needs it. Please be safe, be seen. Go within, be the lighthouse for other people. Be that shoulder for somebody to lean on. Be the ear to hear. Be the seed planter. and be and walk into your authentic self. No reservations. Don't be shy. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please spread all my information around, or just don't, whatever. Do you, boo? Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet to do so. I really appreciate everybody who does support me, who leaves me comments. I love you guys. And I want to thank everybody for that support. It means the world to me. And as much as I have been exponentially busy, I try to do Amish mindset back. If you got something going on and you need some help promoting it, I could throw it in my links or on my page. So I say, always look at my links. You never know what's there. Like I did today, I took pictures of a whole bunch of tables and I posted it with mine. Here's all the people. You never know. Amish mindset. Implement it. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'll see many of you in the chat in the morning for WeNotMe. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.